Hello everyone, my name is Gagik. Today I'm going to talk about Raspberry Pi platform and Python programming. Raspberry Pi is a small and affordable computer, as you can see, and that can be used for many different projects. In this presentation, I will briefly explain what Raspberry Pi is, its main hardware components, and how we can use Python to control it. So, what Raspberry Pi is? Raspberry Pi is a small single board computer. Even though it is very small, it can perform many tasks that a normal computer can do. It was originally designed to help people learn programming and computer science. Today, a Raspberry Pi is also widely used for robotics, automation, smart home system, and Internet of Things projects. Raspberry Pi hardware components. Now let's look at the hardware. A Raspberry Pi has a processor, RAM, USB ports, HDMI connections, and micro SD card slot and GPIO pins. The micro SD card is normally used to store the operating system and files. One of the most important part is the GPIO pins, because they allow the Raspberry Pi to communicate with external electronic components. And in slide four, we have the operating system. Raspberry Pi usually runs Raspberry Pi OS, which is a Linux-based operating system. The operating system is installed on micro SD card. After connecting the monitor, keyboard, mouse, and power supply, we can use Raspberry Pi like a small desktop computer. In the slide 5, we have Raspberry Pi setup. Setting up a Raspberry Pi is quite simple. First, we need a Raspberry Pi, a micro SD card, as we said, and a power supply. We can also connect a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. After installing the operation system and turning on the Raspberry Pi, we can connect it to the internet and start programming. And in the slide 6, we can see the introduction to Python. Python is one of the most popular programming languages used with Raspberry Pi. Also, we are using it in our university. We learn about that a lot. And the first thing that we learn is hello world. So it's easy to learn because its syntax is simple and readable. With Python, we can use variables, conditions, loops, and functions to create different programs. So let's look at Python and Raspberry Pi. Python becomes more interesting when we use it to interact with hardware. For example, we can write a Python program that controls a LED, reads information from a sensor, or react when a button is pressed. This allows us to connect software programming with a real-world hardware. And in slide 8, we are seeing GPIO pins and control. GPIO means general purpose input and output. This pins allows the Raspberry Pi to send and receive electrical signals. It's so important to make it work. For example, an input pin can receive information from a button or sensor, while an output pin can control and LED. Python can be used to control these pins. And in hardware interaction, in slide 9, by using GPIO pins, we can connect many electronic components to Raspberry Pi. For example, we can connect LEDs, buttons, temperature, sensors, and other devices. A simple project can be programming a LED to turn on when a button is pressed. When a button is pressed. And in slide 10, there is applications. Raspberry Pi has many real-world applications. It can be used in robotics, smart homes, automation systems, Internet of Things projects, and environmental monitoring. It's also very useful for students because it provides practical experience with both programming and electronics. So there is one example project in slide 11, a simple example project in a LED control system. We connect the LED to one of the GPIO pins and write a Python program to control it. The program can turn the LED and off automatically. Although this is the simple project, it demonstrates how software can direct the control hardware. And for the conclusion part, sorry. So to conclude, Raspberry Pi is a small but powerful platform for learning programming and electronics. By combining Raspberry Pi with Python and GPIO pins, you can create many different projects and understand how software and hardware work together. Thank you for listening to me.